Chappie is a 2015 sci-fi action film from director Neill Blomkamp, who has done District 9 and Elysium. District 9 I thought was actually a pretty brilliant sci-fi film, Elysium less so, and he's recently been signed on to do the new Alien film, and he better not mess up my franchise, because he'll have me at the door getting him to recompense for that little mistake. But anyway, Chappie had a lot of people really excited for it, me included, because of his previous work, and even though, as I've said, Elysium wasn't that great, I still thought maybe he could pull it out of the bag, because he always shows talent. And he kind of fails with this one. He doesn't quite come through the way he has before, and it's really somewhat upsetting. But what we have here is a film that has serious potential to it that unfortunately, again, feels very wasted. I'm still hopeful for his future projects, but unfortunately he just really hasn't come through on this one. There's a number of reasons for that. The first reason is that the film tries to go in a completely different direction to the way the trailers would have had you believe. You might have thought that this movie was going to be about an AI, artificial intelligence, coming into his own, and the battle between Dev Patel, who plays the main character who creates Chappie, and Hugh Jackman, who essentially plays the typecast bad guy. That's not the direction this film takes, however, but it still tries to raise all the questions that a film like that would bring about naturally. And because it completely goes in the wrong direction in this way, the characters aren't well realised, and the questions therefore get totally muddled up, and it asks bigger questions than it has the power to genuinely ask realistically. So the film should have focused on the compelling conflict between Dev Patel and Hugh Jackman, but instead it focuses on two band members, unfortunately turned into actors, Ninja and Yolandi, from the band Die Antwoord. And this was a huge mistake, as Chappie, like in the trailer, gets created by Dev Patel's character to be this big revolution AI, you know, the first robot that can think and feel and write poetry, the example the film gives. But instead he gets drafted by Yolandi and Ninja to steal cars and shoot people and walk like a gangster. And why did this happen? And it's such a shame that Neill Blomkamp decides to focus on these two characters, and he actually tries to make us feel for them as well. There is a moment, which I won't spoil, where he tries to give a sort of redemptive streak to these characters, and it just doesn't sell for us. I don't believe it, and it really ruins what little we had for the characters anyway. It really doesn't follow through on that, and they're totally lost to us. The problem then is that the movie decides to spend most of it with these two people and Chappie, and how they're sort of warping Chappie, and it's really going for a sort of nature versus nurture philosophical argument to it, but it's so unfounded in these characters that it just literally doesn't sell. So because Neill Blomkamp decides to focus on these characters that we don't get an insight to really, that we actually care about, the movie decides to focus so much on these characters. Like 80 minutes of this movie are with these people. That's most of the film, and so most of the film you aren't really involved. It doesn't grab you like it should have. But besides that, you realise that when the film's not going to be able to give you these sort of big questions it wants to ask. But not every film should have to do that, and maybe this film can be taken on the grounds of an action sci-fi film which is mildly enjoyable. And for the most part it is okay, it's not so bad, but at the end of it, it completely loses itself. It becomes so ridiculous that I just can't keep giving it that sort of credit of being merely okay. It just doesn't hold itself up enough, and it is a complete miss shot from Neill Blomkamp, and it makes me sad because the film had so much potential, it literally oozes it, but he takes his concept and he focuses in all of the wrong areas, and I don't really understand why he decided to do it, and I hope he doesn't pull any of that crap on my franchise, guy. You don't pull that crap on Alien, I'll get you for that. But regardless, it's just so sad to see a movie like this fall like that. I mean, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I really don't see any reason why you should watch it. Maybe you can get more out of it than I did. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't expecting it after being half an hour into it. I knew where it was going. It wasn't going to be a huge philosophical debate, but I still expected something that was at least somewhat enjoyable, and to an extent it is, but it just doesn't hold it up for the whole 2-hour runtime. So by the end of it I was disillusioned and quite frankly fed up. But anyway guys, that was my review of Chappie. If you like the video, please like and favourite in the boxes below, you know what to click. And if you want to see more of this, please subscribe, it helps me more than you know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching.